Hi, I'm Randi with Repeat Realty, and I'm here today with Kevia. She's another realtor at my brokerage, Repeat Realty, and we're talking today about small space living. So Kevia, you downsized years ago. Can you tell us what you went from and what you went into?
Yeah, so we've been in our current house about 2 years. The previous house was about 2,600 square feet. 4-bed, 3.5 bath, a big old game room, and now we live in 987 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got 3 bedrooms, but only 1 bath.
Okay.
So it's been
3 bedrooms is a lot for that small
It is.
space.
Yeah, they're
though.
smaller bedrooms. The kids are.
Yeah.
I feel like our master's pretty decently sized, actually. Of course, smaller than what we were used to, but it fits our king size bed and our dresser, and we've got a couple of nightstands, so it looks like a typical bedroom.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and we've got good closets too, actually.
Oh, that's
They're not
so
large,
great.
they're not walk-in, but we've got 2, so
They
it's,
do it.
Yeah, suffice. Yeah.
What's the best thing about small space living?
Oh gosh, it has. It's really drawn us closer as a family. There's a really cool saying I've seen online on all the new wood artwork about living in small spaces. You don't really have anywhere to go, so you're bound to be drawn closer to each other, and it's really true. It's kind of when there's nowhere to go, you just kind of stick together. We're usually in the same room, and even if we're not doing things together, we're still spending time together.
Yeah.
So it's really helped our family grow closer.
I feel like in any house I've ever lived in, everybody congregates into one room anyway.
Yeah.
So if your family likes each other, which is the hope, they're all just hanging out in the kitchen at a family room.
Again, even if we're all doing something different,
Right.
we kind of feel each other. And really, that was one of the driving factors for downsizing. We were in that big old house, and our kids are so little, we were never upstairs, ever. The kids ended up in bed with us every night, and we'd go upstairs for a movie, on the weekends, and that was it. They would destroy the playroom, and then we'd go to bed downstairs. And so we just kind of had a come to Jesus meeting with ourselves and decided, let's save some money and do things a little differently.
So besides the actual square footage cost savings of buying a smaller house, what other savings have you found?
Definitely the mortgage payment, of course. It's about half what we were paying before. And then again, utilities are low. I don't know, we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, and we don't find that we're just randomly, I still go to Target and buy random stuff, but it's not, big pieces of furniture or huge artwork. We're very intentional with our purposes. Our purchases now, we have to be. They've got to have a purpose and a place. And one thing to note, we've done quite a few renovations, and that cost is exponentially lower than any other larger home. We had to redo some piping, and it was minuscule in regards to plumbing costs.
Right.
And then some HVAC ductwork, same thing. You don't have much to work with, and so it's not going to cost
Even
you
replacing a floor would be so different when it's a small room.
Yes, 1,000 square feet is a living room for some people.
Exactly.
And so it's been really fun to kind of get to play with things and budget for the renovations, and we have the budget to do what we want, which is fun.
So what's the hardest thing about small space living?
Oh gosh. Well, 1 bathroom is very hard. We've kind of we've gotten used to that for sure, but there's nowhere to go. So you I'm sure deal with this too. Working from home as a realtor, I'm always on the phone, and I find myself locking myself in the garage to get away because we don't have a home office anymore, and so we have to get creative with schoolwork now, and just kind of everybody finding a little niche that we can call our own for a few minutes for whatever purpose we need.
Right, because you have 2 kids, so
little kids.
That adds a whole other element.
It does.
Are there certain things that you've had to work out with the kids?
A little bit. Again, they're little, so they just kind of go with the flow. I don't even know that they know better. My daughter was very upset that we moved from a 2-story home to 1 story because she wanted the stairs. She was mad, very mad at us, and made us promise that we could get a cat in the next house and that it would have stairs.
Okay, that's hilarious.
I said maybe to the stairs, but not the cat.
No cats. No cats.
It really hasn't been different. Kids have a lot of stuff, and so we decided, because it's only the 3 bedrooms, initially we were going to give them each their own bedroom like they've had before, but we bunked them up together, and we built my husband did, some beautiful twin-size beds, and so they're in one room. We've got a bedroom and then a playroom with all their junk in the other room, and that has been really an ideal situation because it gives them room to play instead of walking around beds to kind of get the Legos out.
Smart. So you kind of alluded to this, but has small space living made you take a more minimalistic approach or be more organized?
Well, I wish I was more organized than I was. I have good intentions, but I've got a ways to go. Yeah, we're certainly more intentional. Our kids still have a whole bunch of stuff that they don't need. We got rid of a lot. Big furniture and just stuff that we knew we weren't going to need or had space for in this house. And I wish I was more organized than I am. But yes, it has helped us. You know, when you don't have room for everything, you've got to be more organized. You don't have a choice, you know. You've got one little cubby for towels and that's it, and so everything has a spot. It doesn't always stay where it's supposed to, but
it never does.
That's the intent.
Yeah. And so do you have spaces in your house that have multiple uses, or is everything pretty designated?
Really, the kitchen table is kind of the catch-all. We do schoolwork there now, and you know, that's our desk space.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty, you know, the bedrooms are just that. They're just bedrooms. There's not a whole lot more to that. But yeah, the family room is the family room for sure, and then the kitchen table is everything. It's the all-in-one.
Which is kind of any house.
It is.
I feel like it's always the catch-all.
I do miss having a designated space to kind of have the printer and all my stuff, you know, sprawled out. We do have to kind of clean up after ourselves quite a bit more because everything is so, you know, small and open. But yeah, the kitchen has always been kind of the hub of the home. So really no different than I think any other household.
Yeah. So when I watch shows like Tiny House Living and things like that, they often use outdoor spaces to extend the living space. Have you done that? Have you been creative with your outdoor spaces?
We have, because our house is so small. Our lot's probably a pretty normal size, but we've got a very large backyard, and so we've got the trampoline in the playhouse, and we've got a great sized patio, and we've got plans in the spring to kind of create truly an outdoor living space where we can get some better furniture and a large, you know, like they see on Pinterest, the big picnic table and everything. And so we are out there a lot when the weather permits. And,
which is not always in Texas. But,
you get a few months out of the year.
Yeah,
but we're outside a lot.
Yeah.
The kids love it. They'd be outside year round if we'd let them.
Do you see yourself living in a small space long term?
You know, I love it, and I think we've all grown to love it. Even my husband, who was very skeptical, I had to do a lot of convincing. But because we've had a lot of fun making the house our own, I think we kind of have drawn, you know, near and dear to this particular property. But it's not our goal. My husband's in school, and we had some financial goals that we were struggling to get to because of the large mortgage payment, and so we've actually been able to kind of tick off, you know, our checklist of financial goals. And so we're thinking a few more years. We are saving for, you know, maybe a larger, just a little bit. We don't need too much, but a larger forever home with maybe 2 bathrooms.
The little things.
That's the top of the list.
Hilarious.
Another bathroom. So.
Do you have any advice that you'd offer somebody who's thinking about doing a dramatic downsize?
Oh, you should do it. It's a lot of fun.
That's so great.
I mean, we're pretty low maintenance when it comes to things like that. Again, it's been a very humbling experience, but to only have what you need, especially in this day and age where you're keeping up with the Joneses and so-and-so's doing this and you feel like you have to do that, and social media's projecting such in my opinion, a misconstrued lifestyle.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun. It's challenging, and it took a while to get used to, especially with such a drastic change. But I don't regret it one bit. It's been fun, and I think we're going to be sad a little bit. You know, when we do get to graduate to the next step and move on. But I say do it. It's again humbling, and it's really helped us meet so many goals, not just financially, but
it seems so freeing.
It is. It really is, when you don't have to worry about that element of, again, keeping up with the Joneses and making the mortgage payment and having to sacrifice maybe a soccer team or a dance class because you've got other, you know, plans. It's been great for the whole family. As they do it. Yeah.
So good. Well, thanks so much for sharing with us. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and we'll get back to you and answer them. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.